Do you drink any other beers? Like non what do you call them?
Uh,
Macrobreweries?
oh, do I drink microbrews? Oh, absolutely. Like, look, man, I'm from Montana, right? We love our microbrews and all that stuff.
Was that like a certification of credential? Like, I'm from Montana. Like, name one brewery from Montana, because I can't.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors. Well, hello, and welcome again to another episode of the Weekend Warriors podcast. I'm the Grouch, and joining me today, we've got Bert.
You ever drink Bailey's from a shoe?
No, have you?
Next. Next question.
All right, and we've also got Steven.
No, but I have drank a lot of beer from a boot.
There you go. And working late nights.
I take mine the old-fashioned way.
We've left lager.
Absolutely, boys.
Well, thanks for coming to join us this evening. Let's go around and see how everybody's doing. Cody, how was your day? How have you been since the last episode?
Working my butt off and making little wins, right? And I really appreciate that. I'm giving myself tiny little pats on the back. And I had the opportunity, we'll say that, to fight Berto on the National Training Center.
Okay.
To make
this part out.
To make the Denovians, the pride of Atropia, live strong. So that's all I got to say.
Nice. Well, good to have you, Steven. How about you? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm actually looking forward. I was going to wear my hat, but my fleece hat won't fit with the headphones on, so we're foregoing it. But I am looking forward to hearing a little bit about somebody getting their ass kicked in the desert.
It sounds like that story is going to be forthcoming.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like it's a violent encounter in which one side was victorious and the other side is pissed off about it.
And on that note, hey, Berto, how you doing?
Yeah, Cody, why are you so pissed off about it?
Because
that was a rhetorical question. Shut up. I'm doing great because I recently won a war. We thwarted the enemy, pushed them back to their defenses, and neutralized their badness. So I'm just saying we pushed them all the way back. We seized the terrain, and good guys win. USA. Because whoever's on the other side is just the enemy. So, yeah. So I feel like a winner. Excuse me, this is my turn. I'm just gonna say that I feel like a winner, and yeah, I don't know if you guys know what that feeling feels like, but it's a real high.
We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Paul, how are you? Paul, how are you? Paul, how are things?
I've been struggling this week, to be honest. Dealing with a little disappointment. A little frustration there. The kid actually did a little bit of schoolwork today, so I can't complain too much about him. But yeah, just one day at a time, man. That's it, right?
What made you want to skydive?
So that's one of those things where, like, I wanted to do it in the military, and I never had the chance. And so I always said, someday I'm going to do it. Someday I'm going to do it. Someday I'm going to do it. And then because I'm on the Live Free at Ham podcast, back in May we had this guy on. His name's Carlos. His YouTube channel's Life at Terminal Velocity, but he does ham radio from the parachute. And so, like, he's got the top tier license class, and he skydives all the time. And yeah, he jumps out of the airplane, he'll pop his parachute, and then he'll fire up his HF radio. And he's done videos of him taking up a 7300. And like,
He knows that he can do HF from the ground, right?
yeah, but I mean, think about if antenna height is might, right? Like a 14,000-foot antenna.
I don't know. It would change a lot of things when we talk about the refraction of the signal in the ionosphere. I don't know. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's not.
Does he classify himself as aeronautical mobile or like aeronautical falling?
Parachute mobile.
Like CQ.
Parachute mobile.
I have the next 30 seconds to make a lot of contacts.
He's actually got like 10 to 12 minutes.
Oh, because he's jumping the right chute. Yeah.
Could you imagine doing that and you got this guy who just wants to rag chew? And you're just like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm literally falling out of the sky. And you want to tell me about your recent medical condition? Thank you, but no thank you.
QS
you can see it in a couple of his videos. Like, there's people that want to just, shoot the shit. And he's like, yeah, listen, I've only got a little bit, like I gotta keep calling CQ, look up my YouTube channel and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. These are satellite contacts, man. Let's roll.
Yeah, quick.
What's his mic setup?
So he's got a headset with a boom mic, and he also just uses the hand mic. It's amazing because he, obviously he records it, so he records all the audio and everything, and like, there's not a ton of wind noise. You can still very clearly make out what he's saying. Yeah.
He does video too?
Yep.
KB8M?
No, K9OL.
K9OL.
Yeah, Life at Terminal Velocity.
Dude, shout out to K9OL, man. Look, if it wasn't complicated enough, falling from a perfectly good airplane, that dude's doing ham radio, man. Fuck. I'm probably one of the only guys that were able to jump not airborne qualified. Don't tell anybody. It was one time I was terrified. I will never jump out of anything military again, or jump with anything military above me again. Right? Straight civilian shoots from now on.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It was that good.
Especially if you use the what are they, the T11 shoots or
T10, T11s?
T10s, yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
It's literally just a blanket with some 550 cord and.
Yeah, a shop at fucking bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's steerable. Yeah, okay. I've been on the I-5. That's not steering. It's cool, man. Jumping out of planes, ham radio. I like it.
How can you step it up a notch, though? How do you one up that?
Well, so the only way to one up that is to continue on to get my license so that I can do parachute. And then it would be really cool, right? We get the two of us jumping together and we talk parachute to parachute.
Ooh.
You know, like on 14652. Like, hey, CQ, parachute mobile.
Like,
And have him respond, yep, parachute mobile as well.
He's using rolled up ladder line. That's fucking cool.
He's got a bunch of antennas. Like, yeah, it's neat. I definitely, I envy the hell out of it. Whenever I watch his videos, I'm like, I want to do that.
That's pretty cool.
I just want to talk to him on the radio while he's jumping.
I'll throw him in your ham alert.
Yeah, what's his
Well.
call?
K9OL.
Niner Oscar Lima.
I have this weird association thing, right, with amateur radio call signs. The second you said Kilo 9 Oscar Lima, I think of like K9, like dog, and then old lady. So K9 old lady. So dog old lady who jumps out of airplanes and plays ham radio, and I'm fucking down with it. So I'll be working late nights.
And I'm
Apparently,
fucking down
he
with it.
used to be KD9OLN.
Yes. Oh, that dude's in my log. I remember that.
Only late nights. I told Steven, I was like, I don't want to get too drunk before the podcast.
Well, I ran out of little ones, so I got big ones next to them. So I don't know. I'm a classy broad, a cheap date, but I like flavor. At least that's how I explain my beer of choice. But whatever.
As long as you like how it tastes.
Do you drink any other beers, like non, what do you call them? Macrobreweries?
Oh, do I drink microbrews? Oh, absolutely. Like, look, man, I'm from Montana, right? We love our microbrews and all that stuff.
Was that like a certification of credential? Like, I'm from Montana. Like, name one brewery from Montana, because I can't.
Can name like 5 or 6 of them. All right.
You're from Montana.
Actually, yeah. No, but I like microbrews. I like all the other beer snobs that are out there, but if it's got some weird ass name, I want to try it. So that's kind of the thing. But yeah, you go to the breweries. You bring your growler, get your gallon of whatever beer, and that thing just goes down way too fast because it tastes good. And then the missus is like, "Oh, that's empty." Yes, it is. I need to go get another one. And that's how that conversation goes. No, but if I have to go with a big boy brewery, what do you call it? Coors Banquet beer. I like that. I came across a TikTok scroll the other day, and they have this young girl. She's like, "Look, cowboy juice," and they're at the grocery store, just pointing at a Coors Banquet 30 rack, and I thought it was just so perfect because it's kind of how it is within the culture of it. But I started drinking PBR because I found that it's cheap, but it's got flavor, or cheap, but it's got taste. So
It gets you drunk, man. Let's just say it. For a cheap price. I can get drunk for $20 a day, or I can get drunk for $14 a day.
Yeah, and in this economy, I mean, the blue ribbon goes strong. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like the key to some of your people's diets is just like drink a lot and you guys stay skinny. I think it's fucking remarkable.
I eat a lot too. This doesn't stick.
Caffeine, nicotine.
Steven, what's your diet secrets?
Steven's on the carnivore
well,
diet.
I did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. How's the carnivore diet?
Down 30 pounds.
Holy shit.
What?
Good job.
What is the carnivore diet? I know this is a dumb question. What does the carnivore diet consist of?
Eating only dinosaurs.
Yeah, pretty much all meats are okay. Seafood, real butter, eggs, and cheese, and then that's pretty much it. Basically, no carbs,
Yeah,
no sugars, no nothing.
essentially like a keto diet.
Something like that.
Yeah, minimal carbs, high proteins and fats.
Yep.
I'm starting that right now. Do you do
And
vegetables at all?
no, I started doing sort of a modified one. I will do cucumbers, lettuce, and that's about it. Onions.
Yeah, but those are like the nothing vegetables, right? They're pretty much all water. Yeah.
They're still considered, believe it or not, cucumbers and carrots and stuff like that still have carbs in them,
Yeah.
but they're on the lower side of carbs. So
A lot of diets don't count carrots as the safe vegetable category because it is a lot higher on carbs. Like when it says like eat a cup of vegetables, it'll be like not carrots because it has a lot.
Not corn. Corn's really high in
Corn's
sugars.
useless.
Which is so weird because you just shit it all out.
Like you chew it up and it comes out fucking whole.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't make sense.
It's like it's doing a magic trick inside your body.
I like my green beans.
A lot of have been drinking a lot of water, but I've switched over to unsweet tea, and then I still do my coffee every now and then. And
coffee's good for you too. That's good. 30 pounds, man. That's awesome.
And a little over a month.
Wow.
That's quick.
Just from not eating carbs. I mean, I can really tell a difference.
Hey, I got a question. So maybe just like dig deeper into the psyche of what a diet is, right? Like you're making a conscious effort to eat this regimented type of food. Does that also bleed over to other healthier decisions? Consciously or subconsciously? No?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
I wish it did.
He still slams his mouth in the glory hole in the fucking Sunoco bathroom, so no fear there. Like a fucking catfish on that thing.
Steven, the secret's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
knock 3 times?
You notice why Berto is a little bit more boisterous tonight, right?
Because
my mustache gone.
Because he got rid of his mustache so that he can talk shit now. Because he knew he wasn't going to get away with talking shit with that fucking pedophile mustache.
No, honestly, I would have kept it. I thought I had to go into work today, and I was going to get rid of it for work. And then
we had so out of regs.
We had train. Oh yeah, 100%.
That
was like out to here.
Yeah.
No, I kept it inside my little crease.
Yeah, if you were to pull your
yeah, like, are you talking about, Sergeant Major? It doesn't say how I hold my lips. Fucking idiot. Think outside the box.
AR-670-what?
We got Sergeant Majors posting their pictures on Cougars R Us and beating their girlfriends and getting away with it and all sorts of stuff. So what are they gonna say to me?
Russ has joined us audio only.
Oh, hello, Russ.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Can you guys hear me okay today?
Yeah.
How you guys doing this wonderful evening?
Chilling. How about yourself? How was your day?
What are you
It
about to
was-
sell us like a Mormon Bible or something?
No, I'm just found
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today? Let's be friends.
a place of tranquility and purpose.
Cody, move it over just a little bit. You're
There you go.
behind your
Check
name.
out. Fuck, I don't know how to do
There you
this.
go.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Check it out, boys. God's simple plan for salvation, matter of life and death, right? Everybody's seen these in the mail.
Yep.
I think that this very ingenuitive, frugal ham made this a QSO card because he's like, I got 1,000 of these. We just slap it in there. So, hey, thank you very much, guy. November for Bravo, November Oscar.
Pretty cool.
That's clever.
Thank you, man. It is. Code of context. Or maybe he's trying to spread the word of God. So works both
Trying to
ways.
tell you that you need God.
Yeah, I probably do.
What are the things? What are the things that we can take from work? That's definitely military that we could just mail out. Just put like the QSL log on it.
Like a physical object, or are you talking something like something tangible?
Oh, we should just
Oh.
do like a memorandum for record on a Department of the Army letterhead.
Could
Yeah,
be.
just the ridiculous amount of shit that you have to put in a leave form.
Yep.
And just fold that up and just stick your QSL card on the back.
Make a QSO card into a DD form or DA form.
Crystal.
Like,
Actually, ooh,
I'll do that. I'll do that if we do if we ever do that event where we activate like installations. I would send that out with a QSL card.
You should
GA
just
Form 73.
send everybody an after action review of the QSO.
Oh,
Three
a range
sustained
card.
review.
Range card would be good.
A range card.
That's a good one, Steven. Or a
Dude.
sector sketch would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
The
pretty
heat map
smart.
analysis.
I might do that. I might get a
Nope. Dibs. Right? I'm writing it down. I'm putting it on the
I already wrote it
Yeah.
down.
it's on the scratch paper. I wrote it on the paper.
Bullshit. All right, I'll just get the ace card. You remember those, Cody?
Ooh.
The old ace cards we had to carry around?
What did the ACE stand for?
Ace
Assist,
stands for Ask, Care, Escort.
Ask, care, escort. There you go.
So if a soldier was in need, let's take Paul. He was in a very upset state. I would ask him, Paul, are you okay? How are you feeling?
No, I need my cry closet.
No, I think now they
Wait, we're acting it out right now. Hold on. Paul, are you okay, my friend?
I'm not okay. I can't deal with any of this. The military is just too stressful for my delicate sensibility.
This is the care part. Hey, Paul. I recognize your emotions, and I care for you. And then escort. How about we go talk to a professional of some sort?
That's a good idea because, yes, anybody that needs a cry closet or a safe space needs a professional.
How did it turn out? Quit being a fucking pussy and do it already. Okay, and if you don't, you're a failure. And if you do it right, no one will know I said this.
That's on the back side of the card.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, you know
That's
what?
kinda-
I do have a protractor here. I can turn this
Ooh.
into a QSL card.
Oh, dude, a protractor.
That's a good one. I can order a lot of these.
Yeah, man. Put it on the government's time. It's all right. Nobody knows how to read a map anymore. Anyways, modern army. So
Good. Dog daggers.
Have the taxpayers pay for your QSL card.
If
That
there was
sounds
a
like
way,
a liberal plan.
It's like it's the equivalent of shitting on the clock, man. You got to get your money back somehow. You got to stick it to the man. That's a good one.
You're right.
I'm gonna save that.
All right. QSL cards. Range, fan. I'm stealing all your ideas.
Why the fuck are you stealing them?
The NXH.
Nobody wants Annex H.
Nobody reads it.
Yeah, right. What's it? There's got to be another good one. Oh, you should get like, you know how they have the posters of the disassembly of weapon systems. Those are pretty cool too.
Poisonous plants.
I don't think that's I don't know the NSN to order that, but we'll write that down too.
The dog tag.
Have the
Dog
new military
tags?
weapons rolled out?
What's that?
Have the new military weapons rolled out? So I know
I mean,
they're replacing the
haven't
M4 and
seen
they're
'em.
replacing the 240.
No.
Campbell
Please.
has some of those.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. All right. So I saw a video the other day. So
Hold on, they have an XM7, which I'm looking up. It's a
That's the
6.8.
M4 replacement.
Yeah, 6.8
Yeah,
millimeter
6.8.
by Sig.
Yep.
To
And then they got
replace
one to replace the
M4, yeah.
240.
the XM250 to
Bro,
replace.
I live in Denovia, okay? We're the bastard children of the army. In a good way, right? Because we're keeping it strong on the old school.
So you sending a patch to the QSL card?
Patches on QSL cards? It might get a little pricey, but
As a QSL card.
I might just remake a new QSL card. Figure out how to. Okay, so then they also have the XM250, which is also a 6.5 or 6.8 or a 277 round. That's in inches, 0.277.
in freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom units.
Um,
So generally, it just sounds like we need to scale up the size of the freedom BBs we're sending. Kind of like how the old timers did it, where there was no such thing as a 22 on the battlefield.
these
It's
look
all
like
30 caliber, right? I mean, essentially, that's just what's going on.
Yeah, but like, why not just go to a 7.62, which is fucking everywhere?
I think the enemy
You know,
will get their hands on it. And then
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, that's what the enemy is shooting. Like, we could pick up their ammo and fucking use it. Like,
or they can pick
Yeah.
up
They could
our
also do the inverse to us.
and that's what's most likely gonna happen.
There's no such way. No,
I think
that doesn't happen.
there
So
has to be
you-
a
I mean, it's
sweet
not like
spot.
we gave them all of our guns and all of our vehicles. Oh wait,
Yeah,
You're
was
right.
that.
yeah, we did.
that
Ooh.
was Afghanistan.
I forgot. We
Speaking
did
of
do that.
which,
Never mind.
We just
giving
just
stuff up.
recently passed another anniversary there in August. The wonderful Afghanistan withdrawal.
It's crazy to think that that Cody and I were there in 2020 to 2021.
Yeah, right at the end of 2020. We left right before Christmas, man.
We're there. We were prepping for all of it.
Actually, the fun part about coming home Christmas time 2020 is like I had to do some quarantining. So that was real fucking great. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember staying in the barracks for 14 days on Fort Drum, not allowed to see anyone or do anything. Had to stay in your little fucking bubble.
That was wild, right, Rob? Look, we left. Here's a unique perspective of it, right? Of COVID and all that stuff. And going into the Afghan withdrawal. But Berto and I left February of 20. So, like, we were hearing hints of this COVID thing, right? But we were off to Afghanistan. And it's just like, it didn't really fit that COVID was kind of a real thing, right? It took a long time. There was a lag, at least to kind of really get it all going in the combat zone. But we ended up finally wearing masks, and people were getting shit shoved in their nose after, towards the end. But one of the most unique things that I have said ever since redeploying was that we went to Afghanistan and everyone else was on a 4-month-long 4-day.
Yeah,
right? They were all fucking living or working from home, not essential or whatever the hell. And I'm like, damn it, dude, my timing is always fucked up. I never get the long 4 days. So COVID was never an advantageous thing for me to ever experience for a little bit of reprieve from the Army. But
I remember when I came out to visit you, I had to get the CJTF commander to sign off on me traveling to come out there.
Yeah, you're right, because you were going from like Baghdad, right? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Wrong country. Yep.
Oh, hold on, the PBRs.
So you can tell you've deployed too many times.
Yeah, I'm mixing up countries now. No, were you going? You coming from Kabul or where?
Coming from Kandahar.
Yeah, you coming from Kandahar, right? And then you went into Dwyer, where I was at. But there was, what's weird about it is, like, in the different areas of Afghanistan, there was like, slightly different COVID measures, COVID leniency, right? So Rob came from a place where everyone was masked up, mask on the front, mask on the back, mask under your
mask on our
nuts.
feet.
Yeah, fucking. And then he comes to my place and it's like, what the fuck are masks, right? But then the Air Force showed up and just ruined everything, right? They brought COVID with them and just all was jacked up. But
leave it to the
yeah,
Air
it was
Force.
weird. Yeah, typical. But yeah, so we were there all of 2020. We were there all of COVID, for the most part.
Yep.
And then we were working. It was. We were working on what was the word of the day? Divestiture.
Yep.
Right. We were busy working on kind of shutting Afghanistan down. Right. There was.
Do you know how complex that is, though?
Dude, it was wild. So there was less, or at least appeared to be, there was less combat operations going on and more like military movement, right? What I mean by that is like logistics and stuff, right? What needed to go out of country was getting out of country. What was affordable to get just shredded got shredded, right? Because sometimes it's just cheaper to shred shit than it is to get it on the ship and go back home.
So
I get it.
Think. I'm just gonna add on to that. Think of this. So, like, a lot of the things we either destroyed or gave over, it cost more money to ship it back to the United States. We would have been we would have been at a bigger loss getting it home than just destroying it. And that's where we go. So, like, vehicles getting shredded, equipment. I remember going. Did you go with me to the disposition yard?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to the disposition yard and just dug through kicker boxes after kicker boxes, finding free stuff. I still got a lot.
Well, I mean, you got almost 20 years of crap. Well, not crap, but 20 years of stuff lying around of military spending and it made sense, right? It shred it or spend more money going home. But
And they
that's
still
what we
have
were
the
doing.
audacity. They still have the audacity. Like, hey, we're about to shred this. Okay, can I have it? Yeah, you can put it on your property book. But it's like, but you're just gonna shred it anyway.
Yeah.
So let me just have it.
Yeah, it got really weird there for a while because it was like there was plenty of stuff that was really good that we could have maybe could have finagled to get back home to do future training and all that stuff, and but it was like, no, man, it's on the hit list. It's got to go in the big shredder. Industrial shredders, by the way, some wildly large things that could like take an entire up armored Humvee door, just, that type of thing. So, oh yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't all bad, right? It still seemed that even though we were scaling stuff down, equipment wise, personnel wise, everything was scaled down. In fact, we were only allowed to have so many people, literally so many people in Afghanistan at the time, that some of our brigade weren't able to deploy, or they had to redeploy early or something like that. So this has all kind of been going, through like the Trump era of things. But then we all kind of went home. We gave it off to the next brigade. By the time we all reintegrated into American COVID society, land of the lack of toilet paper, home of the dash, food delivery thing, right? Like only a couple months later, right? People are talking about this really ugly version of some pullout, and stuff got kind of volatile, right? And I mean, media and everything kind of amplifying the situation. My first impression of what was projected to us through media and all that was, oh shit, they finally shredded everything. Let's go. Like, it's time to go home, boys. Like, good job. But I don't think that was exactly the way that the original plan was laid out. The glide path, military terms.
Is there such a thing as a plan in the military, really? Because you might have a plan, but that shit never survives the first contact with the enemy.
Yeah, but I don't even think we made contact with the enemy. I mean, like, we did, but like,
Man,
I think I'm genuinely interested in what the plan really was, because it all seems so very reactive and not planned.
all seems rushed. There were people that
It was rushed,
which is rare. I mean, a lot of the stuff we do is very deliberate.
yeah, and sometimes extra deliberate, right? There's a lot of hurry up to wait to actually make decisions. Well, it seemed very snapshot, like, in your face. Oh, very reactive. Absolutely.
maybe
And I
the
don't know.
timeline was not met. And then they're like, let's see, it's like at the end of the project, you're like, oh fuck, let's just half-ass the rest of it. And
Because it was taking so much to get out of there. I mean, we weren't even on path when we were there to get everything out.
No,
To get
and we left
people out, to get everything.
and shit. We left about 7 months before, 8 months before the
withdrawal.
The withdrawal. Yeah, I'm trying to find the right words.
Withdraw.
Yeah. I don't know. From my foxhole where I was at, what we were doing.
Well, whose fault was it?
Oh, I can't put fault, man. If I would put a name or a person or an organization or anything like that, the second I would do that, I would think for a minute and have to change some other opinion about it. I don't think I can lay it on.
I don't think you can without all the facts either.
Blame it on the PFC, bro. That's it. That was their fault. Fucking, there was too many of them.
Yeah.
That's why it took so long. They didn't clean it. They didn't clean out after themselves. They didn't fucking make the barracks dress right. The dress.
Very well could have been.
My buddy was there. He was sending me photos. Of the weapon caches, not just ours, but foreign to the old Soviet era weapons, the PKMs, the AKs.
I think the problem though is like, and granted, I wasn't a part of the planning naturally, but I think if you have this plan to gradually withdraw, there's a certain number of manning and equipment that you hit where you are now susceptible to the enemy. Like, because we could have inched it back slowly, reducing infrastructure. But as you reduce infrastructure, you reduce personnel, you become severely at risk to, losing 1,000 lives as opposed to, like a much smaller number.
We drew back so many pieces on the chessboard that like the queen's still there, but we only got a couple pawns and a rook. Like it's like, hey.
I can imagine the mass pull out at the last second. I can imagine that, like that was bound. I think that was going to happen either way, because once you get down to the last couple planes and the enemy knows that you only have 200 fighting forces on there, like you can just
why not?
You can capitalize on that,
But isn't the division commander, the brigadier general? I forget his name. The 82nd at that time, he was the last one to step on that plane. I think that was even though there was small fighting force, conventional, I'm pretty sure there were some group guys out in Kabul keeping tabs on what's going on, or the tourists as well. I'm pretty sure tourists were there.
But they got to get out somehow too,
They'll find their way to get out.
They have special fucking planes that are gonna get them out.
Now, here's my question though. Okay, is why didn't we treat Afghanistan like every other foreign territory that we have ever held and maintained a permanent base there, and just had it be a rotation? But we still got guys in Korea, and
Germany.
Everybody loves the Okinawa rotations, like because
I think in those other ones we came to some sort of resolution
as like a status of forces agreement, right?
Yeah,
which was what was established. I don't know. I'm not a politics guy, or even someone who went to college, but a status of forces. I think that was a nation's government agreeing with another nation's government. Hey, this is the way we're going to do it, right? We'll end the war, and here's what we'll hash it out. And that makes sense, right? Yes, we have a SOFA agreement. We still have a standing SOFA agreement with Germany from World War II, right? We have a SOFA agreement with every place that we have a military base at, except for within Afghanistan. And shit, man, I was in Iraq when Obama signed a version of a SOFA agreement, right? So when it comes to Afghanistan, you had President Trump. There was this deal, right? The U.S. Taliban deal. I don't know. I could be misspoken or naive, but I don't know if truly the Taliban represents one of those nation governments like we have throughout history. So it didn't hold the same weight that, we'll kick this bad boy off if you mess it up again type deal. I don't know.
I mean, I guess I don't know. When we did it in Germany, did we make a deal with the Nazis or did we?
No, with the new regime.
Exactly. So like
The new regime.
So like we had an agreement with the new Afghanistan regime.
We put the Taliban in power in 78. Like, if we were going to put the Taliban in power, we could still maintain a presence and maintain peace in the region.
But what is that? But what is that? Why? I guess why do we assume that we can maintain peace in someone else's country?
Well, so hear me out on this, okay? So we interjected ourselves when Russia was taking over in the 70s. And so from that point on, we now had an obligation to defend and protect the citizens of Afghanistan, right? That was what we did in kicking Russia out. And then you've got 9/11 and all the things that happened after that. Well, now we've got a much bigger presence because we're taking care of terrorists. We need to maintain that. Like, I mean, we were there for 20 fucking years. Like, you know, to me, all of the sacrifice of lives and limbs lost over the course of the 20 years in the pursuit of, you know, eradicating terrorism and making the region stable and safe was all thrown out the window with that horrible fucking withdrawal. And it just seems to me the simple thing would be to maintain an embassy and a small base and keep our equipment there for the people that are going to rotate in and out, and, you know, just continue the you know, hearts and minds purposes of the after effects of the war on terror, right? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm way off base, but I think we were wrong to just pull out completely and leave everything behind.
I think
I think that only works if you're in a neutral state with a country. Like, I don't think that works.
Yeah, neutral state. I would agree with you there.
If you're still at war, because it's not a rotation. You're still sending people into a combat zone that can, you know, like, actively get killed every single day. And for the sole purpose of us trying to impose democracy in a place where it's not going to work.
Okay, but so then why don't we pull out of Turkey and, you know, everywhere in the Middle East?
Oh, I tell you why. I was actually, you guys know what a ConocoPhillips, the U.S. company
Gas
based
station?
gas station, right? It owns those oil refineries in Syria, which we protect U.S. soldiers and Marines that go out there for sole reason to protect those refineries from ISIS taking over.
Well, okay. What you said, Russ. All right. I have an opinion that I think that maybe might be warranted. I don't know, but you said Conoco, right? You put a name to it, a corporation or whatever, right?
Right.
But a lot of Americans' livelihoods is built off of oil. Let's just be real there. So if it is that we need to put the force of the American sword to protect the livelihood, right,
I agree.
of making that, okay, you know, you getting my connection there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then it makes sense. I get that, right? Okay, so it might not necessarily be for the national defense using the mighty sword of the DoD, but for actually to maintain the status quo, right? That we can go back to every meme ever fucking invented about the U.S. military, you know, we fight for oil, you know, that type of thing. But I think there's some truth. There's some truth to it, man. And, you know, I'm not trying to downplay it, but there's some tangible things that I think that might be relevant. But
So
maybe
100% agree with it.
maybe I watch too much Fox News, man. I don't know.
Well, check this out, dude. Check this out. America runs on automobile. That's like this country was built on automobile. This was built on, look at the highway system, the greatest and biggest in the entire universe. Let's say if like we withdraw, forget about the oil, forget about everything, and now your average American taxpayer can't get to work because there's no infrastructure for him or her or them to get to work. The Europe, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys been to Germany, right? Like, like the public transport. Japan, I don't know. I've never been to Japan, but I heard of their high-speed trains that can get you from Osaka to Tokyo in like fucking 30 minutes.
But their countries are also this big, so but relative. But yeah, their human public transportation systems are way more established than ours. But
deeper than we think it is. Our presence in the Middle East is not just, oh yeah, we're there to fight ISIS. What they're telling us, it's actually a lot more deeper, a lot deeper. But what I don't like is we are sacrificing our best and the bravest in that area, where ungrateful can eat those fruits that were harvested by the ones.
I don't know. I get you, man. Let's play a little conspiracy theory here, right? Okay. Opinions. I don't know. Just going on the internet here, but I believe that oil was the start of it, right? Because we all believe that the black gold in the center of the universe lives over in the Middle East.
1971 OPEC deal.
Maintain the foothold, right, for America's superpower in there, right? But in the modern era, we seem to be going a lot more electric and all that jazz, right? There's some battery technology that needs to be needs to be utilized, right? We need to mine this stuff in certain situations there.
Right.
Different regions of the planet has some very special metals that are needed, right? I'm kind of hinting toward lithium and all the other jazz, right? Well, Afghanistan, if you've looked at some of its beautiful mountains, the richness in the geographical area, right, for these things, right? Opioids is one thing, right? It's on the small scale, but I'm talking about these
rare earth minerals.
There we go. Okay. In my opinion,
to the heroin
no. We're not talking about the opioid epidemic in America. No, I'm talking about rare earth metals, right? Okay. We got some of the most inspiring, influential folks that want to have electric cars, want to go to Mars, do all these things, right? Make this human race better. Gotcha, right? I'm not trying to advocate for them. But what I'm saying is that these rare earth metals, okay, it takes a lot to find them. It takes a lot to refine them. And you know what? What we love about America is we don't like to touch our soil as much as we think we want to, right? We want to keep it in reserve. So why not? Let's spread out to the rest of the planet. Where are the rare earth metals? They're in the beautiful mountains of Afghanistan.
In essence, it is our doctrine of forward presence, our strategic doctrine of the United States military and department. Well, actually, Department of State, so to say, it's forward presence. We are out there. That's our whole, like, if that collapses, the whole world pretty much, we're the world's foundation. Because who patrols the freaking blue waters? Who protects those pivotal straits, like Somalia, Horn of Africa? the Navy is always there, and we've seen how much it was affected recently.
Oh, it's for strategic assets,
Yeah, you're talking about
national assets. Like, yeah, we're gonna be there, but what national assets do we have in Afghanistan that we're actively going for? Granted, like you said, they do have harvestable land, but we weren't doing that. So,
yeah.
No, I think in my conspiracy theory opinion of it is that the reason why we stayed in Afghanistan for so damn long is because the rest of the superpowers, they look at this chaotic state of Afghanistan, this rare earth, precious metal, just gem, right? And they go, okay, when is the mighty red, white, and blue going to pull out? Because we're just going to suck this bad boy dry, right? The rest of the superpowers are like, hey, they're making land deals. They're trying to get all this stuff squared away so that they can pull lithium and rare earth metals out. So that way, right, they have a foothold on the rest of the economy within their own organizations, or excuse me, their own countries. And then they're selling back the rare earth metals as a premium to us. Ultimately, I think it's just we're no longer in a world of fighting holy wars, right? We're in a world of fighting commerce wars, right?
Yeah.
It's a money war.
I'll add on to that.
Organizational.
I think another big reason, or two reasons probably, that we didn't leave Afghanistan is we didn't know how to leave without looking like the bad guy. Like it's as simple as that. Is that we went 20 years without, like, oh, just another year and we'll win them over. We'll be able to swoon them and they will be America's friend and we will win this through hearts and minds. And it never happened. And we just stayed there year after year after year because we couldn't leave on good terms. And they just thought that it was gonna happen one day. And it fucking never did. And I think with that, ending on good terms means, oh, well, maybe now that we're in this good place, we can work out this deal of whatever assets you have and we have, and you can be part of us and we can do that. But how do you leave that when you then create an additional enemy of a whole country, not just an insurgency?
And they're different people than us too, so we can't, like, I've seen a video of them doing jumping jacks. Well, not doing jumping jacks, attempting to do jumping. I've seen that video where U.S. soldiers were teaching A how to do jumping jacks. And I actually spoke with one of the Rangers who was training there. He was an advisor to ANA, and it's like they took them on patrols, and it would be like it would be a situation where they would be walking, there will be 20 of them, and then 2 of them starts wandering off like into the distance. We'll go to the left. Someone will go take a piss. You turn around, there's like 10 of them now. Now you have to go find where they at. Like then, like 200 meters to the right, the landmine would go off, and then here you go, one of your guys just fucking stepped on the goddamn landmine that's left by Soviet Union 20, 30 years ago. It's their mentality. They're not.
Well, that would happen to us too if we grabbed a bunch of regular civilians and put them in a military formation. The people that join the military and fight, they're on the Taliban side.
Yeah.
They're fighting, not these local police that we create and make them do jumping jacks. Have you ever watched an American try and play soccer? Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. So like you're not getting the cream of the crop. You're getting the people that are just like, oh yeah, I guess I'll do this.
Yeah, but the worst part, in my opinion, not the worst part, but it's that culture. For the last how long? Like since the 80s, then 80s, 90s, us in the 2000s and 2010. So for 40 years, 4 decades, how many generations only knew how to fight? That was their whole, like, they don't know how to farm. They don't know how to do business. They don't know absolutely how to do anything but to grab that AK-47 now M4s and point down range and shoot, and then disappear into the mountains. That's all they know. And how do you fight those people? How do you defeat those people? That's their whole nature.
Well, I think in a lot of ways, you need to at some point stop fighting them, start recruiting them. You know, like the whole point is maintain stability, right? And so that means doing kind of like cartel control, right? Where you try and keep the crime down so that the average people can see, all right, well, I can have a better life. You know, my life doesn't have to be constantly living in fear, you know, and having to go, you know, teach that 12-year-old how to shoot because you know he's the only one left. Like I don't know. I think we were doing a good job. We were doing good things while yeah, it was still a combat zone. We should have stuck it out.
Oh,
But
like,
see,
I mean,
I'll also say this is that like we were trying to force what we thought was a good life onto them. Like we don't know what it's like to be out in the middle of nowhere. Like I can empathize with their relationship to the Taliban because I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere in Afghanistan and I farm and do whatever and it's essentially the mafia coming up to you saying, "Hey, listen, we'll protect you. You just give us a cut of this or you let us do this or you do whatever." It's like, "Oh, you're going to protect me?" Absolutely. Like I'll let you do it. And then America comes in offering iPhones and fucking cheeseburgers and shit. But like you know it's going to be a short-term thing. So why would you it would be like it's like when you go to the fucking hood, man. There's no one in the hood that's going to rat out anyone.
Yeah, I
You know what
can see your point there.
because if they know they're not leaving that community, they know that they don't have a way out. Like that's their community and that's what they're going to stay in.
the rules.
Now
they live by.
there are ways out and the people that wanted those outs have gotten those outs or I mean there's probably more that probably want it but I mean it's like we went into their hood and we told them how to live.
Yeah, but
Sure.
that's the
You know?
problem. Oh, we're forgetting opinion of a Karen, right? Let's say Karen from Los Angeles, California, is going to look at the news and, oh my God, Taliban is treating their women so horribly. They're not allowed to go get education. I'm not going to vote for this politician. This politician is going to, okay, so how many Karens are there? And then I'm going to lobby to get the Taliban out of the power, right? Because this is not how we view the world, and therefore this is not how you should view the world. But like you mentioned, the food analogy, we imposing our way of life, American way of life, on to those people who are not. This is not their way of life, and they have their own way of life.
And that's a fantastic point. It's like an ethical dilemma that we have to face where like if you're over there and you watch a man beat the shit out of a woman, like what do you do? Do you have a right to interject? Do you like in their community? It's a very if you draw the problem out bigger, like it's a very weird ethical dilemma where you know it's right or what you feel is ethically correct versus how they run their society are two totally different things. And
But
it's
if you go back and look historically, that's not always the way that they've run it. I mean, they didn't start wearing.
but this isn't the same way we ran our country for years either.
Sure, we used to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
if the dinner was cold.
But if someone came in my country and told me how to live my life, right? I'd fucking rebel too. I'd say
Yeah.
no way, man.
Yeah.
Like,
No way.
imagine someone coming to America and saying, "This is how you're gonna live."
Ooh,
Wolverine.
Like,
that's
Yeah,
where it's
Wolverine.
happening.
100% no way. I don't care if
Dude.
it's ethical or not. Like, this is how we do it. Like, we get pissed off that they're changing plastic bag to paper bags. You know what I'm saying?
Robert,
Like,
when did women in that region start wearing burqas?
I mean, I
Ooh.
don't know.
Revolution.
I don't.
Where the kingdom of Afghanistan was overthrown by a. Well, actually, no. That was the 80s when Soviets came in. That's when the Islamic.
When did women in our country have the right to vote?
Soviets were in the 70s.
Soviets in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, but the burqas didn't start until the Islamic Guard in the late 80s.
Yeah, I mean, you're proving the point even more is that like communities evolve, rapidly changing, like in the direction that their communities want to change.
Is it communities evolving or is it bullies taking over? And
what do you think America is?
One big bully.
It's just one big bully.
Look, I might say something controversial here. Okay, I think I went from working late nights to Willie was leaking right now, so I had coming back from the conversation. But I like, or I can agree upon, by which the Taliban wants to hold true to the faith of the culture that they deem necessary for their people.
Right.
Okay. So that sounds weird, but we are on the same level there of going, hey, you guys that live over there in the beautiful mountains, by the way, I love Afghanistan mountains, but you guys who live over there that want to go do that and treat your women that way or whatever, right? That's part of your culture. Do you, boo-boo, right? Because I want to do me. And if we're talking about this like giant world commerce and as a human race trying to fucking live together, okay, I think that my personal opinion, not my professional, of course, and not my soldier opinion, but my personal, deep down, right? I want to go, if the Taliban's in charge and that's their thing, and the Afghan people were willing to let the Taliban be in charge that way, then that is the culture. That's the essence of it, right? And let them do their thing.
And it's not the U.S. obligation to change how other people live. I don't believe in that. I think that's our big problem is that we think it is, and we get involved in every single conflict because we want to solve all these problems.
But ultimately, the frustrating part is we spent 20 fucking years trying to interject it.
And how many trillions of dollars?
Oh God, dude! And then we went wild. Actually, and internally we went wild. All right, I think honestly, soldiers, sailors, Marines, right? The war fighters out there, right? They have such a different perspective of what was actually portrayed to the rest of the United States, what was actually, media-ified to the rest of everyone else. So we were there and we did things, right? Caveat, everyone had a different experience of a deployment. Okay, everyone had different views, opinions, all that. I think purely when we were downrange, we kind of set aside our own personal political views, and we just kind of we're just being it for the guy for the left and right of us. But we have different perspective, man. And I see some people that are, I see some soldiers that are disappointed with 20 years of wasted time, wasted lives, wasted blood. I see some soldiers that feel some sort of relief after 20 years. They're like, fuck it, it's done. fuck that place, All right, got that T-shirt. I'm out. All right, give me something else on the news, And then what really has me a little bit frustrated is that we spent 20 years in there. I'm almost 20 years in my career. I got to see a completely different culture within our own subculture of the DoD, of the Army specifically, right? We had changed every bit of the version of which we fight. We're no longer this culture of fighting a Lisco or
Coin.
This coin. Okay, all right. Coin was a thing, and Lisco and all that jazz. But we went from fighting uniformed forces or training to fight uniformed forces. Right? It was always big bad Russia, the U.S. this thing, and there was something good about the idea behind why'd you join the Army? Because I wanted to kill some commies. And that was the idea behind it. And we always trained to do this most glorious version of big armor fights, tanks on tanks, and this reliving this World War II kind of glorious idea, this personification that we will be like our grandfathers type thing. And then this fucking counterinsurgency, convoluted policing the world, fighting this ghostly thing, this guerrilla type warfare. It got us weird. It got us to a point. I believe it got us to a most ambiguous version of fighting, and it left us in a haze. And currently, right now, I think we're trying to unhaze that version. And we watch the most modern version of that play out in Ukraine.
Where do you think that coin tactics are going to go? Do you think, in your opinion, are they going to fade away? A, they're fading away. 2, will be transitioned over with the current leadership. Or 3, will be used against Americans in case of a violation of Constitution and global uprising.
The counterinsurgency doctrine that the U.S. had developed over 20 years changed the way we fight. We are now, actually a couple years ago, cracking open the old books, literally. How do we fight the Russians again? Right. And we're trying to do this hodgepodge version, this meshed version of a modern battlefield. Because come on, right? Necessity is the mother of all inventions, right? Well, actually, war is really the true mother of all inventions, right? Since 20 years of practice modern war with a combination of superpower on superpowers type stuff, it's wild, man. There are no rules again. It's almost like before NATO or before we found out that chemicals were not great on the battlefield, right? All was fair, right? All was fair in love and warfare. But nowadays, or excuse me, we went through World War II. We're like, okay, hey, no more of this, no more of that, right? There's rules, right? This is a gentleman's game. And then we went into this Cold War thing, all right? And then we played by the gentleman's game rules, but with a enemy that no longer wore a uniform, okay? And now we're trying to flip that on its edge and go, okay, excuse me, not flip it on the plane, but flip it on its edge and go, where do we find the definitive line between old school versions of fighting a uniform force and the new school versions of what the fuck's going on? And I don't know if any of you future soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and you space. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, yep. And the space weirdos, because they might fight up there too. But if you guys are listening to this, man, I just want to let you guys know that whatever your version of your war is, right? History does repeat itself. You're just going to have a different flavor of Kool-Aid. And take it with a licking and just know that your time will come. And just pray you make it home, man.
So I've really enjoyed the conversation. We're kind of running down on time, so I figure it's probably a good stopping point. I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. It's been one heck of a great conversation, and I always want to thank each and every listener and viewer. For those of you that watch the podcast on YouTube, we couldn't validate us being here if it wasn't for the people that were actually downloading our podcast and giving us a watches on YouTube. So thanks to all
Or
of you.
listening to our audios.
Yeah, the audio only is also on YouTube as well if you want to do it that way. So let's go around the room and give our last parting thoughts, and we'll reconvene on the next episode. Russ, how about you?
I would like to say, keep your dharma in place.
All right, that's it. Just nice and simple. Keep your dharma in place.
Yeah, do good by other people, so other people will do good by you.
Perfect. How about you, Berto?
What the fuck's Dharma?
It's a Zen, bro. You got to look it up.
All right. Well, I'll say that, I feel like I've recently experienced this conversation when the denote our country and tell us how to live. And we liberated that last month. And people will continue to liberate that month after month.
All right, Steven, what do you got? Final parting words.
Oh, Cody was switching hats. Do him first.
All right, Cody, go ahead.
All right. First off, we're talking about Russia, the United States, superpowers. We've fought wars. Blood was shed all over the place, right? Some unnecessary, some very necessary. But ultimately, we are here for the guy to the left and the right of us, or gal. Modern world, modern army. There's some lady warfighters out there. Speaking of lady warfighters.
They get pregnant before deployment.
No. Speaking of lady warfighters. All right. Berto. All right. Listen, I know you're not in the 2nd Infantry Division, but their motto is, in the 2nd ID, is we will fight tonight. And I saw your division, or at least your brigade, fight at night, and you couldn't fight out of a wet paper bag. So, viva la Denovia. We will still be working late nights, live, laugh, lager, and down with the... I'll leave it at that. Down with Berto. No.
The horsey.
He's a traitor.
All right, Steven, what do you got?
Well, the big take in all of it is we have winners and losers in battle. And the only time that you're ever going to have a true winner is when you cross that line and do things that the other side doesn't think is conscionable. And until we have the balls and the intestinal fortitude to do that, we'll always end up in a draw or pulling out of a conflict or something like that, just as our last several have been. Because unfortunately, you have to not necessarily annihilate, but you have to make the other side not want to fight anymore. And until you can do that, you're going to continue to have these little skirmishes and battles because nobody wants to actually win a war because it's not pretty. And no fight is ever going to be pretty because somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. But you have to go in and make a statement. And we as a nation haven't made a statement since World War II.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Well, I guess my final parting words would just be whether you're struggling or whether you're having an all right day, rolling this together. Don't give up. Stick with it.
Remember, I'm pulling for you, and we're all in this together.
So with that, I'll say thanks again, and hope to see you in the next episode.
Are we done?